Okay, we're ready to get started? Get a nod from the back of the room. Okay, thank you to everyone for coming. This is the Ask the Network panel. I'm Oliver Roup, CEO of VigLink. And we have a great panel here today representing a whole bunch of the major networks. And I thought we'd just kick it off by saying, please introduce yourselves and tell us about your background. Start Dan.
Hi. Sorry, haven't tried the mic yet. I'm Dan Chiss. I'm head of network solutions for Google Affiliate Network. I am now 10 plus years working on the network side, and my current role, I run a team of teams essentially that span network quality, technical solutions, marketing, business development, and some other areas as well. We're essentially supporting our folks that are working directly with advertisers and publishers. Prior to that, I ran our publisher organization, our network quality team, among other things. And so 10 years in affiliate and about 13 years digital experience overall.
Hi, I am Allison Fox. I have been in the performance marketing space for about 8 years now. I currently run publisher development and network quality for PepperJam Exchange, and I've been with our parent company, GSI Commerce, for just under 7 years, and prior to joining the network side of our business, I ran the affiliate marketing channel for our in-house digital agency, True Action, which is responsible for 60 plus affiliate programs for some of the largest retailers out there, including Toys R Us, GNC, and sales.
My name is Brian Littleton. I founded ShareASale about 12 years ago. ShareASale is a performance marketing network, just about 3,500 retailers now that are on our network. We're based in Chicago. Looking forward to the session.
Kerri Pollard. I run the Commission Junction division of ValueClick. I actually just celebrated my 13th year. Started with Be Free back in 1999 and came together with Commission Junction in about the 2003-2004 timeframe. So grew up on the publisher side of the business and took over the helm back in 2007.
I'm Adam Weiss, Senior Vice President at LinkShare, Rakuten LinkShare. I'm responsible for our publisher development team, our business development team, and our global product strategy as well. I've been at LinkShare for almost 9 years now.
Great. Well, thanks very much. I see we have a great panel here. I'm very excited to get some behind-the-scenes info from all of you. Why don't we start off by saying, what is the particular appeal of your network? Maybe if we go in a different order this time. Start with Adam.
I would say the appeal of LinkShare is, we have a pretty big global reach. Our parent company is based out of Japan. They're focused on e-commerce businesses across the globe. And wherever those e-commerce businesses go, there's an opportunity for the affiliate network to go as well. So global, I think, is definitely a strong appeal. We tend to focus, especially in the US and UK, on the high-end fashion apparel type retailers. We have a strong presence there. And we also, our kind of internally, our focus is how to make it easier for people to do business in the network. So focused on tools and technology to make it easier, but also kind of the human aspect of affiliate marketing, creating relationships and creating meaningful partnerships through our services teams.
My turn?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say probably one of our appeals is definitely the scale of the publisher network. We have about 60,000 active publishers. They've generated a transaction in the previous 6-month period. And going back to the history or heritage of CJ, we were one of the first networks to have real-time reporting, which was obviously very important for a lot of the search publishers as well, in terms of the monthly consistent payments so you could reinvest in your promotional efforts as well. And that really gave CJ a first mover advantage as it related to having more publishers than a lot of the other networks out there. And we saw that firsthand when Be Free and CJ came together. It was like, wow, a lot more diversity in terms of breadth and depth of that publisher base. The other area in terms of differentiation is just we've continued to make a fairly significant investment in the services side of our business on both the publisher side as well as the advertiser development. Half of our company, we have about 350 employees, are all client-facing. So that's another thing that we pride ourselves on, is making sure that not only do they get the support, but are able to meet their goals and objectives through results.
At ShareASale, our focus has been really in developing a lot of niche retail areas, and I think that one of the things that affiliates tell me about our network and what they really enjoy is the width, the breadth of those offers. There's about 3,500 offers on their retailers. That gives them really a huge opportunity to dig into those little niches, and they're not often huge brands. They could be small companies, but the opportunities there are really interesting for the publishers that we work with. I think the technology side of it is a big piece for us as well. We're a relatively small company, and so we've tried to move quickly with technology. When we come to an event like Affiliate Summit, or if I'm at my own ShareASale think tank, we take in a lot of input from our affiliates and from our merchants, and we really develop our product around that. And over the years, we've heard from our customers that that's something that they really appreciate, both from the affiliate side and from the retailer side. They appreciate that that's being heard, and that the solution, the technology, is actually focused around the needs that they have. So those are two things I'd point out.
At PepperJam, we feel that our devotion to innovation really sets us apart from some of the other networks out there when it comes to what our clients are looking for. We know that consumers aren't shopping in silos, and it's really important for us to enable not only our merchants but also our publishers to reach their customers regardless of where they're shopping, to engage with them anytime, anywhere, anyhow. And we've developed a lot of different performance-based tools for our merchants and publishers to take advantage of. And just being a part of eBay Inc. has enabled us not only access to a unique tool set, but also exclusive distribution opportunities through some of our sister companies like Red Laser, Ware, and Milo. And then in addition to that, as we all know, this is a relationship-based industry, and it's really important for us to provide not only our merchants but also our publishers with incredibly high level of service to help them connect with one another and ultimately achieve the revenue goals that they've set for themselves.
So for us, I think a few of the things that differentiate us are our technology platform. As a Google product, we need our technology platform to be fast and reliable and something that we can quickly innovate on. And now that we're on the core technology stack that's shared across display and search and other products at Google, it allows us to do a lot of rapid innovation and release new features. It's something that both advertisers and publishers expect. Quality is something that is a big deal for both advertisers and publishers. Advertisers need to feel like they're operating in a safe ecosystem that is free of abuse and fraud and those kinds of things. And Google puts incredible amount of investment and resources towards this. Our services are used by literally billions of consumers and millions of advertisers and publishers. And so that is definitely a core capability that we have. And in turn, it allows high quality publishers to flourish, to ensure that their sales are not being trumped by bad actors and the like. So quality is a big important aspect of our network. And finally, distribution and reach. On the advertiser side, it's about obviously reaching a large network of publishers. We have access to the largest network in the world in AdSense. We also have some unique distribution opportunities for our advertisers. We recently launched with Blogger platform, a tool that allows bloggers to quickly monetize their blog posts directly in line. And that's an example on the advertiser side. And then for publishers, they're looking for good brands and also new advertisers that aren't just switching from one network to another. And we're very focused on bringing a lot more advertisers into the affiliate marketing ecosystem.
Great, thank you very much. What can content publishers do to earn more in affiliate marketing on your network? And what do the high earners on your networks have in common? Let me start in the middle with Brian.
Sure. I would say the biggest thing is really getting involved with someone, either at ShareASale or whatever network you're involved in. I mean, the pure impact of making a call and talking to the affiliate managers and listening to what they have to say. At some of the networks, I speak for myself, there's 3,500 of these offers. There's no way that you could possibly sift through them all on your own. I guess you could. But the faster way is to call us and talk to us and say, hey, this is my content, or this is the audience that I'm looking at. Help me out a little bit. We have events, we have a Share a Sale think tank, we're at the Affiliate Summit and the blog conferences and all this kind of stuff. And the people that we speak to, especially in content, the people that we speak to and are able to talk to are the folks that we see the biggest growth in throughout the year. So if you're a content publisher out there thinking, I'm not getting enough out of Share a Sale, the number one step I would say is to give us a call and talk to us and see what you might be missing.
Yeah, I mean, we actually did a project about a year ago by the name of CJX that was specifically geared towards content publishers by making it much easier to work with an affiliate network like CJ. So instead of having to do a lot of heavy lifting, it was more about being able to copy and paste a strip of code, and then we would optimize that creative on your behalf based on the context of the page. But what we learned, and we learned a lot from that project, and I wouldn't say it's a bust, but there wasn't a ton of volume, is that when you think about content, you really have to think differently about the economics. Because at the end of the day, the content publishers, they're not focused on the click to conversion. The likelihood that a consumer is going to come to a content site and read about it, click on it, and actually ultimately convert at that point in time is probably slim to none. And I don't think really any affiliate networks have seen a ton of volume. Because content at the end of the day is really more about influencing the sale, and therefore the economics have to be right for the influence versus the conversion. And so some things that we've been playing around with at Commission Junction is paying content publishers more so on a view-through basis, meaning that consumer comes to the site, actually sees the ad, and then ultimately makes a purchase further down the road within the cookie duration period. So we believe it's not about the sexy widget or making it easier per se, it's really about getting the economics right.
Great, thank you. Adam?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with that. I would say also, for content publishers, it's really about understanding their customers and the shopping intent of their customers. And by understanding the intent of those customers, working with the networks, we can help match you up with the right brands who can convert on your site, where there is opportunity on the site. So I think it's more about the intent of your customers and understanding the traffic that is coming to the content site, and then figuring out which are the right retailers to partner with.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, kind of picking up on a couple of the points that were already said, I think engagement in general is important, and being in the mindset of many content publishers are just not, affiliate marketing is not their full-time gig or even their 5% gig. And so making it really easy, as easy as possible for them to participate and get involved. And there are tools like VigLinks, for example, that are set out to do that. I think educating themselves on the opportunities and the options as well, sort of like what Brian was saying, and a network can be helpful in matching the right advertisers to a content site. And finally, I would say that I think content sites need to always think about how they make their content fresh and unique and original so that it's providing more value to the end user. There are plenty of content sites out there who don't get traffic because they don't have great content. And so it's a bit of a virtuous circle. And the more focused you are on providing good content, the better the chances that users will find value in it, and you'll as a result, have a chance at least of driving more conversions. But at the end of the day, I do agree with Kerri in that content publishers oftentimes operate at a sort of a different part of the funnel, and I would encourage content publishers to push advertisers to share some of their analytics with them to help them understand where the value is that they provide, and potentially explore different compensation models.
So at PepperJam, one of the features that we've rolled out this year to address some of the issues that we found that our content publishers have run into in the past when they've tried affiliate marketing and haven't found it to be quite as successful for them as some other forms of marketing that they've been able to devote real estate to on their site has been PJX links. It enables our publishers to add a simple line of code to their site, and what it does is it looks for link references and contextual references, and it automatically monetizes those and turns them into affiliate links. And what we found through this tool is that it really enables our publishers, especially our content-focused publishers, to spend time doing what they do best, which is creating unique and engaging content, which is what we found our most successful content publishers do really, really well. And it's keeping that content fresh, keeping that content engaging, so their users are coming back often, and ultimately they're successful at influencing those purchases. And this is something that takes a lot of that heavy lifting out of things for them, because they're not always the most savvy at creating deep links or learning the ropes of affiliate marketing, and more importantly, they don't have time to do that. And what we found is that those have been points of frustration which have led them to shy away from affiliate marketing to begin with, and move more towards display ads, which at the end of the day don't always convert for them, and more importantly aren't going to drive that monetization that they're looking for to keep their sites going.
What are some of the challenges for publishers working in your networks? What kind of problems do they run into? Go ahead.
So I think one of the challenges that we've run into is just in the industry overall, just the publishers getting access to the merchants, vice versa, because we find that those conversations are so important. And one thing that we do at PepperJam that we really pride ourselves in is creating as many opportunities for our publishers and merchants and program managers to connect with one another, because we see that that is just so valuable. And in addition to that, obviously, you know, the usual things, merchants keeping their content fresh so the publishers aren't pushing out anything outdated, and really just access to all of that information that really helps them promote their merchants properly.
Brian?
Well, there's really two different sides to it. I mean, you have a publisher that's an advanced publisher that kind of has been in this industry and is professional. They run into a whole different realm of challenges, really. More, I would say, more technical. I think from a new publisher or affiliate perspective, I think it's just overwhelming. You can come to a place that has 1,000, 2,000 different merchants to choose from. You don't really know where to start. Some of the stats don't make sense. It's kind of overwhelming even to know exactly what niche you want to be in, and there could be 10 or 15 different choices. And I think that's what we hear, especially at some of the blog conferences and affiliate summit, is people that are trying to get into it and just don't really know where to start. And I think that is what I was talking to earlier when it comes down to it. I mean, you sometimes just need some help in this, either from a network or from someone who's already been through it, just to go through it the first time. The same challenge that was spoken to earlier with regards to automation, it's something that you can get over that hurdle the first time, and it makes a lot more sense the second time. Once you make a decision and choose a retailer and go through that process and look at the problems, look at what you saw, look at the return, makes it a lot easier to make those choices the second time around.
Yeah, I agree with Brian. It really depends on the segment of publisher that we're engaging with. You know, on the high end, in terms of the professional affiliate that's been doing this for 10, 15 years, we really become merely a tracking platform and making sure that they have the tools available, whether it be APIs or the like, in terms of reporting and being able to do product catalogs. Also, I mean, advertiser tracking is probably one of the bigger issues in terms of if they're having an issue on their side. We help facilitate in getting that resolved as quickly as possible so the publisher gets paid. Probably in the middle of the pack, it's just really competitive. And how do I emerge and become a rock star within the overall marketplace? We've invested, we have about 25 people on the publisher team that are really focused not only on the top tier publishers, but also the mid-tier publishers, really trying to work with them to get to that next level. And then, again, as a new publisher as well, we have business development folks that we like to handhold, especially if they're new to affiliate. It's a completely different monetization game that they may be used to and working with exchanges and whatnot. So handholding definitely is a concern and one that we try to address.
I agree. So, similar challenges. When publishers join the network, there's hundreds of advertisers to choose from, and you see them join, a brand name or try to join a brand named advertiser program, and they get rejected. They don't know why. What did I do wrong? What do I need to do? What do I need to tell them? And that's really where we're working with the network. There is an opportunity. I think it sounds like we have a similar structure in terms of how we manage our publishers as well, and try to help facilitate those.
We did it first.
This is what you guys came for, right? No, so we did do it first, and I think, what we really do try to focus on is, when you are looking to partner with an advertiser, you do get rejected from a program, who is the publisher? What do they do? What's the value proposition? And try to sell that into the advertiser on behalf of the publisher to create that relationship.
Dan.
I think we all share common issues in many ways in terms of different needs of different segments. We have seen a lot of new publishers come into the fold of affiliate. Google over the past however many years has been very focused on making it really easy for publishers to monetize. That's why AdSense is so successful. It's also the simplest product ever. You literally put up a piece of code and it just works, and it generates a lot of revenue for many publishers. And so as we bring a lot of these folks who are accustomed to that model into the affiliate marketing world, we deal with a lot of these kinds of questions of education and engagement and understanding this is a relationship business, like what does that even mean? And so we're always focused on how to make it easier for them and how to get them more engaged. And so I would say those are some of the biggest challenges we have as a network.
Great. Some of you have addressed this a little bit, but maybe we could focus more on the technology side. How are networks making it easy for publishers to monetize their content? So I suppose focusing more on the technology and less on the human outreach. What kinds of new things are you doing to make it easy? Let's start with Dan again.
Sure. Let's see. Well, I talked a little bit about this widget we put out with Blogger earlier in the year that it's simple for a blogger on the Blogger platform, which is a Google property, to search for products and embed affiliate links directly in their blog posts. And that's an example of us trying to make it a bit easier. We launched a new feature last week that we're really excited about. It's a recommendations engine. And the idea here is intended to get at some of these things we were talking about a few minutes ago. It's bringing machine learning to recommending relationships and links to both advertisers and publishers, because it can be overwhelming, as many of us have talked about, for a newbie in particular to know where to start. Some of the best publishers who have been doing this for years, they're great at knowing exactly what those levers are they need to dial up and down, and they're just really good at picking the best offers, the best merchants. But there are many, many, many others who don't know where to start. And so the recommendations engine is intended to help automate through a lot of different data, some of that process, and then of course augmenting that with people on our services teams that are helping folks get through the process. And of course things like APIs, which we keep releasing more and more of them, are another way for very sophisticated publishers in general to easily monetize their content.
As I mentioned before, earlier this year we rolled out our PJX Links tool, which, as I referenced, certainly helps our content-based publishers monetize their content. Where we found that it's actually interesting to some of our larger publishers who may not have a traditionally content-focused site is that it enables them to use the same code to monetize content that has been added by their users, where they may not want to go in and edit comments to insert links, but maybe they're talking about a specific product that's relevant to a post that they've made that their consumers may find to be valuable information. So definitely helpful for some of our larger publishers who have consumer-generated content. But then in addition to that tool, obviously, it's really important to bring both the brand and the publisher together to create some collaborative opportunities that what we found is that their users really, really engage well with, not just traditional giveaways of products, but collaboration that really demonstrates to their customers that that publisher has a relationship with the brand, that they're immersed in it, that they know the ins and outs about it. So it creates that additional value that ultimately will help that customer convert for the publisher.
For Share a Sale, it's really all about the experience within the interface, I think. I'm a huge believer in the individual process and the relationship between an affiliate or a publisher and the retailer. And so we've generally, as a rule, shied away from automizing things like monetization on a site. I really believe in that. individual relationship. For us, then, it's about trying to make it as easy as possible within that to have somebody find what they're looking for. So it's been all about, and some of you who have been on our site recently have seen some of those changes. We rolled out a feature called Baskets, which was it helps you find what you're looking for faster. It helps you join multiple things faster. It helps you search by product. It helps you join both a merchant program and a product all at the same time. So it's kind of the kind of thing that really improved the experience for an affiliate within our interface. That's been our main focus.
Yeah, it's probably been twofold for us. I think one of the biggest challenges that we've heard from publishers, whether it be small, medium, large, was really the product catalog and not being updated or comprehensive from the advertiser side of the house, and just knowing that the advertisers were also challenged in terms of getting resources applied to updating those product catalogs. And so we rolled out a service offering about over a year ago where we actually can create the product catalog and keep it maintained on behalf of the advertiser, which obviously in turn benefits the publishers. In addition to that, we've also redone our import-export, and so now when an advertiser or CJ uploads a new product catalog, instead of it taking 24 hours or up to a day, it's now less than 5 minutes. So just expediting that process as much as possible so you as a consumer can go to that page and get a fresh product that's in stock and is completely up to date. The other area that we too have been much more focused on is because I think consumers in general have gotten very used to the interfaces of Facebook and Twitter and how easy and friendly and intuitive they are. And so we knew we needed to make some changes at CJ as well. So we've been in process of rehauling the advertiser side as well as the publisher side on the links and reporting to be able to do all customizable reporting across the board, which I think will be extremely advantageous as well.
Yeah, we take a look at everything kind of on an easy, medium, hard. Publishers are going to want to consume information or get links in different ways. So you might want to pull down the product catalog. As a feed, you might want to just search for specific links in the dashboard, or you might want to access it through an API. So kind of everything we do, we take that approach of easy, medium, hard. So no matter what size or skill level publisher you are, you'll have access to that information. We also realized a couple of years ago that, publishers are using different platforms to access links, and a lot of times, if you're a blogger and you use WordPress, you might not even know that you're an affiliate or potentially that you can be an affiliate. I don't want to have to make a publisher come into the LinkShare interface to get links, so we built tools to plug into those dashboards, into WordPress, into Tumblr, to make it easier for them to get links.
Okay. Tell us a little bit about network quality. What kinds of issues come up? How do you respond? Let's start down with CJ. That wasn't picking.
Thanks,
Just trying to
Oliver.
rotate the lead.
My favorite topic. So network quality is something that we've done from the very beginning. We have a pretty large team and a lot of different tools that we've built in-house or used in terms of third parties. Network quality is done from the minute that the publisher enters the door and gets that first payment. In terms of some of the type of issues that we do see, I mean, the landscape is always evolving in terms of the type of players that are out there. And for us, I think, and it's important across all affiliate networks, is that we have that transparency per se. And so in terms of complete fraud, I think a lot of the issues over the last couple of years have been more kind of the forced click variety, that a click is being forced, the advertiser doesn't know, the consumer doesn't know, cookies being dropped, and as a result, people are getting paid. And again, there's that lack of transparency. So, the way that we've run the network is just making sure that advertisers and publishers know exactly how one another is behaving, how that publisher is promoting that advertiser, and as long as it's not illegal, fraudulent, engaged in any nefarious activity, we just want to make sure that that information is available so the advertisers and publishers can make really the best decision for their particular program.
Adam?
Yeah, I think transparency is the key word there. We take it very seriously. We have an escalation process. We start when the publisher enters the door, looking at who they are. Does information match up? We use a lot of third-party services. We use a lot of internal tools, a lot of third-party tools as well. We take it pretty seriously. And what's most important is that there's a level playing field. I think that's really the key, is that everyone is operating on a level playing field. Advertisers understand what publishers are doing within their program. We understand what they're doing within the network, and we kind of funnel that information out. At LinkShare, it's funny that the guy who runs network quality, we joke that everyone reports to him, because everyone in the organization is responsible for network quality.
David? Or Brian, excuse me. David, no, David. Dan.
It's okay.
Sorry.
That's all right. This actually is my favorite topic, I believe, those of you who know me. You know, network quality is always an issue, and it is a very fast-moving and evolving landscape. I mean, every day there are new kinds of threats. And you know, some of the things that we tend to see in affiliate are definitely a number of methods of forcing clicks, cookie stuffing, the use of adware and malware, transactional fraud, and a whole bunch of other activities. And I completely agree. There is a lot of this has to do with transparency and making advertisers more aware of different methods that publishers are using. At the same time, you know, we have pretty strict policies, and we have pretty incredible capabilities of finding and catching and taking care of things. And so a lot of that has to do, again, with just the breadth of Google services, the teams and the technologies that have been built up around click fraud detection and prevention, malware, and removing spam from Gmail and every other thing you can imagine out there that Google sees as a company. And so we benefit from a lot of that infrastructure, collaboration with a lot of those teams to make sure that our advertisers are operating in a really safe and trusted environment. And policies, by the way, really do matter. And you know, some networks have different approaches to certain issues, and we think it's important for advertisers and publishers to understand where those lines in the sand are. Finally, I just wanted to say that I think in this context we've been talking about publisher quality, like bad publishers. There's also an advertiser side to network quality. As more advertisers come into the fold, there's a chance that, you know, advertisers who are not providing good products and services to consumers are you know, participating or trying to, or that they're not doing the right thing by their publishers. And so we're very focused on how to improve advertiser quality. There's a program that Google just launched recently called Google Trusted Stores, which is intended for retailers who are selling, shipping on time and providing good customer service to get a badge of approval, essentially, and a Google guarantee behind their products of $1,000. And so this program is just rolling out, and it's intended to help especially smaller, lesser-known brands get recognized across Google services. We're going to be adding the badging to our own network, and we think it's a way to help publishers make better decisions about which merchants are higher quality.
At PepperJam, when it comes to network quality, one thing that we take really seriously is admitting publishers into our network. Publishers who want to work with PepperJam or PepperJam merchants actually have to apply to our network, and we really work very closely with our network quality team to vet out those publishers before they're even approved into our network, to verify they are who they say they are, take a look at their promotional methods, their sites, all of that information before they're even approved into our network and have the opportunity to apply to partner with the merchant. And it's really important for us to vet that out, just to ensure that we're running a clean network. And then in addition to that, when publishers are admitted into our network, we assign each one of them a transparency rating of 1 to 5 based on not only the level of information we're able to verify about who that publisher is, but also about their promotional methods, how they're planning to work with our advertisers. And that score is adjustable depending on any activity that we see within the network, any type of violations that they may have, even when it comes to trademark violations, to make sure that publishers have as much information about that publisher when they're making decisions, not only about working with them in the first place, but about increasing commission rates or extending them certain offers, so that they have all the details to make educated decisions.
Okay. Brian.
I think as a general rule, I would just be echoing a lot of things that go on that have been said. I mean, everybody here has been working hard on network quality in many cases for 5-10 years. I mean, it's extremely important to a network because the advertiser needs to know they're operating in a safe environment. So I don't want to echo all that, but I will say that I'm pretty happy in general as an industry as to where we've come on this issue specifically. I think what you could take away if you were in the audience and you knew that your site might be doing some things that might be against policy, the chances that you're going to do it and not get caught are pretty low at this point. The networks, as a general rule, have really done quite a good job on identifying what we don't want to see. Depending on what network you're on, there's different levels of this and that, but identifying exactly what's allowed and what's not allowed has really improved. The transparency has been really good, I think, in the last few years, and so as a general rule, the quality amongst the networks has really been, I think, pretty strong.
Great. Next question. What's new under the sun? What do you see out there that excites you? And I think maybe just to mix it up a bit, why don't you talk about something that's not what you yourself are doing, but something you see out there other than what you're doing that you find exciting and interesting? Brian.
Just gonna throw that one right to me, huh? I'm excited about a lot of stuff that's out there, and most of it is when you come to conferences like this and you talk to new folks. Some of the approaches, especially I would go right to mobile and local mobile, I think are the two things where I'm most blown away. Every single time I've ever come to an affiliate summit, I've had a conversation almost within usually the first hour where I have absolutely no idea what they're talking about, and it's amazing to me. And in this case, it's been all about local and mobile and how to get involved in that market and how people are really looking at that as a new way to get involved in affiliate marketing. So that's been this particular summit the most interesting thing to me.
I was going to say Kerri.
Okay, all right, great. Yeah, I think what's been exciting is actually one of the challenges that a lot of marketers are being faced with is really having a holistic view of their consumer and all the different touch points, and because there's now so many different mediums and channels. And so I know that's a big challenge at ValueClick that we're trying to address, whether it's through Commission Junction, whether it's through Datomi, Mediaplex, ValueClick Media, is really being able to build that holistic consumer profile. So again, you can send them the right message at the right time, and that marketer can have a true understanding in terms of what are all the steps along the way, how are they engaging with their particular brand, and how do we track that and become smarter marketers going forward as we do our budget planning for the new year. So that's definitely a big challenge, I think, for a lot of marketers, because they went from managing their consumers really by channel and now really ignoring all of that and putting the consumer really at the middle and bringing all the other pieces together so they have that comprehensive view. So that's really exciting. It's, of course, all anonymous, but really understanding what those consumers look like and being able to effectively target them and really understand in terms of online and offline.
I think what excites me is really on the publisher side of the business, the kind of growth and maturity that we've seen over the last couple of years. I mean, there's a ton of M&A activity. There's venture capital money going into this space now, and we've all been, we're all talking. We've been here for almost a decade, and a decade ago, if you would have said that, I mean, it just wasn't happening. And to see the evolution of the space and the growth that we're seeing with our publishers, I think really validates the channel, and it really makes it an important channel. And like I said, the last 2 or 3 years, there's just been a ton of activity, and I think there's going to continue to be. And that gets me excited because we see the publishers kind of, a lot of them are bigger than advertisers now, right? Which you might not have thought a long time ago. And they're the ones who are really evolving the space, and they're the ones who are focusing on, mobile and social and local and global expansion and all of these cool things. And that's what gets me fired up.
Cool. So, yeah.
A couple things that excite me. One is the more sophisticated analytics that advertisers in particular are starting to apply to their businesses, and attribution modeling as well. It's very early days, but I think there's a lot of exciting technology and just learnings from that over time as advertisers get more sophisticated about how they think about the value of different channels, the interplay between channels, et cetera. The other thing that I'm very excited about is this just emergence of tools or platforms that are the bridge between online and offline. The mobile phone is now really that tool that enables that in many ways. But there are other flavors of this, from online printable coupons that are redeemed in the store to various location-based services. getting, allowing phone calls to originate from online, et cetera. And so there are a lot of really interesting technologies out there that are expanding sort of the opportunities for publishers to earn a commission and to help drive even more value for advertisers.
So what excites me about the affiliate industry and things in general right now is what has always excited me. Affiliates have really proven themselves to be true innovators in the space, and proven themselves as the market and landscape has changed and evolved to be able to adapt and make adjustments to their businesses and their business models to not only continue to compete, but also continue to be able to reach their customers and provide them with what they need. And I think if we look at commerce as a whole today, consumers are really leading the way. They're the ones telling us what they want, how they want to engage with us, where they want to engage with us. And I think that what has been really exciting to see is so many new and unique affiliate models that have evolved from that, different mobile applications, different social shopping applications and publishers out there that 5 years ago could have never existed. And I think it's really interesting not only to see those business models developing, but also seeing the networks and the advertisers building up their capabilities to not only facilitate that activity, but also to track it and enable our publishers to monetize that type of activity, which really proves out the value that we've seen as a network, at least, and that is that traditional affiliates have had an incredible amount of influence on offline transactions, and really being able to close the loop on that information with data that we have has been really incredible for us to see.
Okay. What types of publishers are you seeing a lot of growth on your network? Dan.
So, the classic kind of traditional models that we all know and love, the coupon and deals, the loyalty, cashback sites, we actually continue to see a lot of growth through those kinds of publishers. And a lot of this is because they've really benefited from and capitalized on the sort of broader consumer trends. The fact is, those sites are oftentimes like a really important part of the consumer journey from research to purchase. So we continue to see a lot of growth through what some would call kind of classic models. In sort of the new category, there are a few. Virtual currency has been a phenomenon that's just taken off like a rocket ship, and it's fascinating to think about how much time people are spending in playing games where they can buy virtual helmets and the like, or cows. But the fact is that it scales really well, it's growing fast, and affiliate is often serving as the monetization for those relationships. And so that's been exciting to see. I would say in the mobile space, of course, every advertiser and publisher needs a mobile strategy. It's where consumers are heading, and conversion rates are still lower relative to desktop, but every single advertiser and publisher needs to be thinking about mobile. Separate from that, there are many mobile-specific applications that we're seeing a lot of growth from barcode scanning apps to other things that help with location-based data that helps a user find an item in the store, et cetera. So a lot of growth from those types of publishers. And finally, social sharing platforms and sites. There are all these communities sprouting up that allow users to curate their favorites, share them with friends, et cetera. And it's been fun to see that expand, and a lot of those publishers really becoming material for advertisers.
So just to kind of piggyback on what Dan had said, I think we're also seeing the same type of growth with regard to publishers within the social space, obviously within mobile, and with regard to publishers who at this point may not even have a .com website. They're reaching their customers through mobile applications, social shopping applications, and they're using our network to pull together content, but they're really just reaching their customers through the social networks and also mobile devices. But where we've also seen an incredible amount of growth with our traditional publishers has been with those publishers who are comfortable adapting and embracing mobile as an important part of their business, and social as well, but also partnering with third parties to help support their initiatives, especially when it comes to local inventory, and again, doing whatever it takes to reach that consumer and providing them with value. Because at the end of the day, if you can't provide your customers with value, what reason do they have to come back and engage with your technology? So, there really are many different ways that we've seen growth, but especially with social shopping, mobile, and then our larger, more established publishers who've been in the space a long time that are not, uncomfortable adapting.
That's actually a really great point that Allison makes, because my answer was simply just going to be all, because there's so much growth within what we're seeing from just, as Dan was saying, traditional models of coupon and deals to new stuff, social stuff, curation and communities, all kinds of stuff. But the biggest step that we see an affiliate make is learning to take on a new challenge, going from their old model of whatever they used to do and trying to make it better for their own customer. So maybe it's just taking a step and using the API from your network in order to get more updated information or better deals into your site, or update your data feed more often. Taking that step from, I'm kind of doing this and I'm doing that, but using all the tools that are out there, even if it's third-party tools, things to clean up your data, things to improve the experience of your own site. That's when I see the biggest step being taken by an affiliate within our network.
Yeah, in fear of repeating all these folks here. The deal closers continue to do extremely well within the network, the coupon, the deal, the loyalty, and they've done a fabulous job in terms of adapting to how the consumer wants to engage with them. So whether it is social or mobile, even local for that matter, we've definitely seen some great flexibility and adaptation. And so they've grown to be extremely large within the network, which is great. And I think the other big blooming area too has been the social shopping aspect too. We've seen a lot of really creative and innovative apps. They sit in the perfect place in that funnel, and, get the referrals and references, and to be able to subsequently close that deal. So that's probably another big area that we've seen in terms of new publisher models, and I think we're going to continue to crack at getting more content publishers within the network and making them successful as well. So.
I think, from our perspective, the loyalty, the coupon, the deals are growing, and the way that we kind of look at it is, they're all leveraging these new channels to bring traffic to their site, and also, or to drive traffic to the advertiser, I should say. And also, different, consumers want to consume information in different ways. You might want to see a deal on Facebook, and I might want to see it in my RSS feed, and someone else might want to read it on Twitter, and we're seeing publishers kind of adopt those different channels as mechanisms for, engaging with customers. We're also seeing a lot of growth with mobile. And also on the product curation side, we're definitely seeing a lot of publisher growth there as well. Publishers who are taking product feeds and curating those feeds, and kind of you have an aggregation of millions of products that are easily sortable, easily searchable on your site, and it matches up well with the brands that we work with, and we've seen some strong growth there.
Okay, I'm going to skip ahead to the last question here. And then I'll open it up for questions. So if you have questions, please just come up to the mic. Last question, we'll start with Kerri. How can we all move the industry forward?
So that's a big question. I think one of the biggest ways to move the industry forward is to really understand the goals and objectives of every party. I think the one big thing, and we're actually getting ready for our annual conference next month, and I'm preparing my keynote, and one of the things that I've been fixated on is that one of the great unique things about this channel is the transparency. It's very unique in the online marketing landscape that the advertisers and publishers can have a relationship, which has been a beautiful thing over the last 13, 14 years. But at the same time, I think we've somewhat got lost the consumer in all of this, is that we get so wrapped around the axle in terms of how a publisher is promoting an advertiser or marketer or products or promotions, and we kind of lose sight what the ultimate objective is, which is to recruit new consumers, get a higher average order value, or create more loyalty amongst those consumers. And so I think there's some big questions that are out there that aren't necessarily being addressed effectively when it comes to incrementality, profitability, and consumer reach. And I'd like to see a lot more collaboration and really leverage the transparency and relationships that we have in this network to be able to effectively address them, because I do fear, and not to be Debbie Downer here, that when we talk about some attribution, yes, there's some interesting things going on, but that's not always positive for the publishers. So I think we need to start having some of these more challenging conversations and really get back to the consumer and making sure that we're really understanding the goals and objectives of every party, because if we don't, budget starts to get moved elsewhere. So I think we need to take it up a level and really, because I know there's incrementality there, I know there's higher average order, I know there's profitability, I know there's more consumer reach, but the right people are not sitting at the table with the right set of data, because not one party owns that data. Actually have that conversation and figure it out. And so instead I'm seeing negative decisions being made by advertisers because they don't believe that certain publishers are meeting their goals and objectives, because again, we're just not sharing the appropriate insight and data.
Yeah, and we actually, we answered, we have the same questions about incrementality. We actually commissioned research with Forrester because we get this question so much, and I know it's a challenge, across the board. But, through the research we did with Forrester, we found that end consumers do like to go to multiple sites. They do like to go to affiliate sites before they go to the retailer site. They surf around, and the folks that surf around spend more money. They have an average order value. And one of the questions we get a lot is degradation of brand because you have a coupon, and that's just not the case according to the consumers from the research that we commissioned. So, essentially, it is a question that keeps coming up, and I think we wanted to address that with this Forrester research, and more than glad to share that with everybody, because we do think that's something that will help move the industry forward, and that will help answer a lot of these questions. And it's getting it in front of those right people and those decision makers to understand that the affiliate channel does bring value, and it brings new customers as well.
Dan.
I'm echoing the comments that were made by my colleagues here. I mean, I commend LinkShare for that recent study with Forrester. That was great. We've cited it with permission. And I think there's an opportunity for us to come together and do more of those kinds of things as well.
So just from an incrementality standpoint, with PepperJam being a part of GSI Commerce, our core business is an e-commerce technology business where we power the retail carts for over 100 major retailers, and even more so being a part of eBay Inc., we believe we have an incredible amount of transactional data that gives us insight into not only how consumers are interacting and engaging within the affiliate marketing channel, but how they're interacting and engaging with our clients' websites, and also all of the other marketing channels, because again, consumers aren't just shopping and going straight to affiliate marketing, publisher sites. They're interacting with all of the marketing channels, and really understanding how they all work together really helps us prove out the value for our clients, not only in terms of overall revenue that we see the affiliate channel driving for them, but also profitability, looking at what products are sold by publishers and the product margins tied to those. Also new customer acquisition, we see incredible rates, and it really helps us prove out the value of affiliate marketing, which we've always known but haven't always had the data to back up. Which has been really important for us in furthering our clients' initiatives when it comes to affiliate marketing. But when it comes to furthering the industry overall, I think something that's really important for us as networks to do is really embrace the affiliate marketing channel as a great incubator of innovation and developing tools and technology to not only provide our publishers with the ability to work with us on the affiliate side of things, but also more importantly, the merchants, because you need both of them to get things done. But I think that just taking a look at this as a channel of innovation, you see publishers start in one model and evolve into the next, and this is a space that has changed so much over the last 3 years, and I know for a fact it's going to change immensely in the next 12 to 18 months, and it's our ability to be flexible and evolve as well that will, I think, help keep the industry moving forward.
Okay, last word, Brian.
Yeah, as a general rule to move things forward, and those are all wonderful comments and a great look into the industry and how it really is. In order to move it forward, you really just have to work together, and in order to do that, you have to have a common goal. And I think that in the times that the industry has had a very common goal, and the biggest example probably is the affiliate tax situation, when that situation is affecting everyone and everyone has a common goal, we've been very good in working together and moving the industry forward in that specific issue. So really it's about having that one thing that you're really looking for. And for us right now, it's about proving out the value of the affiliate industry. I would agree that there's a lot of things that are commonly said that we would probably all disagree with here in terms of value of certain types of affiliates or certain things here and there. But when you have something common, you're able to work together. So I actually look forward to doing that specifically.
Okay. Q&A from the audience. Do we have any questions? Go ahead. I can repeat the question.
You talked about the importance on the transparency front, but kind of turning that on its head, what is your thought with respect to merchant advertiser poaching? And is it something you're concerned about? Is it something you're not so concerned about? If you are concerned, how do you address it?
Just let me, I was asked to repeat the questions if they came from the audience. The question was, paraphrasing slightly, we talked about transparency as far as the publishers, but is there a concern around advertiser poaching? And maybe you could, whoever answers could clarify what you believe to be
You
the...
mean poaching like publishers out of a program, or?
So the merchant identifies several very successful publishers through your network, and then chooses to cut you out and work directly with those guys?
I mean, it's not really a concern of ours. I mean, it's hard to track and to have the sophistication of, affiliate tracking, and there's a lot that comes with it. I mean, so from a LinkShare perspective, no, it's not a major concern.
Anyone else want to take that one? Okay, next question from the audience.
Hi, my name is Joni Ward. I'm an affiliate with most of your networks, but I want to know, is there an easy way to find out if a retailer is with a network? For instance, I'm interested in promoting Pandora jewelry. Is there an easy way to find out if a retailer is with a network?
I mean, I think all of us send out newsletters to our entire publisher base announcing the new programs, and we all have search and browse, discoverability in our interfaces to learn about the latest and greatest, and there might even be some other services, APIs and the like, which may not apply to you, but I think in general, if you start out by going to the merchant's website, sometimes that'll tell you which network they're a part of. You can often find a link at the bottom of their site.
Right.
It says become an affiliate, and that's often the quickest way.
Right. Okay. But I haven't been able to find that for Pandora, so maybe they're not with a network.
And sometimes programs like that may have a private program where they're not necessarily outwardly advertising that they're doing affiliate marketing or have a program like that. So my recommendation would be, to reach out to your account manager at the various networks to see, because oftentimes they'll be able to communicate that information to you and let you know if that program not only is live on their network, but also if it is a private program, maybe they aren't accepting certain sites, but they'd at least be able to let you know that as well.
Or if you see them on another publisher site, you can see what tracking link is being used, and you should be able to back into it that way.
Next question.
Hi, I have a question for Dan. My name is Marcus Pollard from Germany, and last year Google started in the UK, and do you know when Google started in Germany?
Hello, Marcus. I remember meeting you several years ago. We're planning to enter Germany sometime next year. Possibly pilot something even this year. As you mentioned, we did, so our platform became global last year from a currency reporting language payment standpoint. And so it's a matter of having sales teams on the ground in each market. And obviously Germany is extremely different market than the UK, extremely different market than Brazil, et cetera. So Germany is one of the few bright spots in Europe right now, and is a good e-commerce market, and we absolutely intend to go there.
At the back in the red.
What would you say is accountable to the affiliate for maintaining the integrity of the affiliate merchant agreement? You all have said what you're doing to monitor the affiliate's actions and behavior. What's being done on behalf of the affiliate to monitor the behavior of a merchant? An example would be a merchant reducing a commission rate to 0 without notifying the affiliate, or shutting down the affiliate's tracking totally because they suspect fraud or for any other reason. What's being done by each of your networks to ensure the affiliate is protected?
Sorry, to repeat the question, paraphrasing, it was really what is being done to protect the affiliate in the network affiliate relationship, that all the networks have articulated their network quality with respect to merchants, but is there anything that can be done to protect the affiliate?
Sure, I'll start. It's actually quite a bit that you can do, starting with some automated tools to make sure that things are happening the way they should. I think with regards to the tracking, it's also a very helpful tool to find out what's actually going on. You can detect things that don't look quite right, lapses in tracking and things like that. As a general rule, I would say that there's very little of this going on, but it can happen, and we've seen it where people are intentionally doing things wrong. Most things are really unintentional, but nonetheless they're able to be caught, by the most part, automated. And to be honest, most of the times that we run into situations with regards to a merchant not really honoring up to the side of the contract, it is something that we have to handle one-off with the affiliate and the merchant. It's something we really believe in strongly. It's as a kind of a mediator in that situation to try and help them through the situation, try and show the merchant where they may have gone a little bit astray here if they've chosen to either reverse a commission or do something that's not really part of the terms or the agreement that they've made with the affiliate. It's something where I wouldn't say any of the situations that I've ever encountered have been the same. It's been one of those things where you have to kind of work through it. But as a general rule, I think it's I don't see it as a large, huge scale problem in the industry the same way that I do abuse from the other side. I think that for the most part, it's you're pretty safe there.
Okay, we have time for one more question, and then we'll wrap it up. I'm sure there's one more question out there. Okay. I want to thank our esteemed panelists very much. It's been very enjoyable for me. I hope you all enjoyed yourselves. Please take a moment to fill out your review of the session. If you enjoyed yourself, please say so. And thank you very much.